Recently, I sat down in my living room and interviewed my longtime friend Fionn about his experiences being a punk in Ireland today. Fionn is 5'10", he's of a slim build with an electric blue buzz cut. His face is dotted with piercings and he often wears all black. Fionn's bold and dramatic appearance, however, contrasts significantly to his soft-spoken, articulate and gentle demeanour. Punk is a subculture which emerged during the 1970s, characterised by anti-establishment views and the promotion of individual freedom, centred on a loud, aggressive genre of rock music called punk rock. With the traditional idea of punk in mind, Mohican haircuts, aggressive music and leather jackets, I wanted to ask Fionn what punk means to him and how the subculture has evolved to become relevant today. So, what is punk?
Well, I'd say it's quite subjective, but to me it's kind of the ultimate form of kind of youth expression and subculture, really. To me it kind of just means the freedom to kind of be my own person, to kind of dress how I might want, just kind of to live my life in the way that kind of appeals to me. And also kind of, well, focusing on certain social movements, political movements, just it's almost like a movement for social change, really.
How did you get involved in the punk scene?
Well, I kind of got involved in the punk scene just from kind of, my dad was always kind of interested in punk, and then kind of through him I listened to some of his music, and from then onwards I just kind of got really into it, trying to find out about more bands, trying to find out about more concerts, and I just got involved in it that way, really, just kind of looking up stuff online, doing more research, and then talking to people and kind of meeting up with punks, and that way, really.
What have you gained from meeting people in the punk scene?
I've certainly experienced different lifestyles, certainly with people from different countries who have been involved in the punk scene, because there'll be people who have had very different lives, but we have kind of a common bond. One thing that stood out in particular was people I was talking to from the Czech Republic who were kind of talking about growing up kind of in extreme poverty and kind of the hardships that they had to face within that, but how punk to them was kind of a movement for change, acceptance in a society where kind of they'd be attacked for being different quite regularly.
Have you ever personally experienced discrimination?
I wouldn't say that I've experienced a lot of discrimination with it, really. One thing that stood out for me was in Belfast a few weeks ago, I was actually attacked walking back to my hostel from a gig, and that kind of resulted in about 8 people kind of attacking me, punching me in the back of the head, all that, because they didn't really like the outfit I was wearing. But that's kind of the only time, really, that I've ever kind of been discriminated against or felt to be discriminated against because of the way I'd been dressed.
What is the punk scene like in Ireland?
The punk scene in Ireland's quite small, but it's good because loads of people know each other, so everyone's kind of friendly with each other, and it's quite nice. It's just a community of friends, really. People who kind of look out for each other. I do see a future for punk in Ireland, but not possibly with the old kind of stereotypical image of punk. I think kind of any form of alternative media or any alternative movement is possibly the future of punk, really. Just people kind of being their own person and being accepting of others and themselves.
This interview really opened my mind and informed me about a subculture I knew very little about. I had a preconceived notion of what punk was, based on the stereotype of Mohican haircuts, leather jackets and aggressive music. I learned that punk is the ultimate form of youth expression.